you want to bring up the slides, John?
Are you going to present them or like download them and put them on?
You present them.
Okay. I don't see.
Okay, I think we're live.
Are we live? Excellent. Okay, Jack, I don't have those up, but good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody in the Waves community. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be pulling up some slides just in a minute. I'm just dealing with that technical difficulty. And then I'd love to run you through the Ambassador Program DAO. This is the community's first glimpse at what we're going to be rolling out over the next year and a half. So this is really exciting. I'm here with the head of community, or I'm the head of community. I'm here with the head of marketing, Jack Booth. How's it going today,
hey
Jack?
guys. Yeah, good, thank you. Just trying to figure out how we get these slides up.
Yeah, I've got them up in my Bluebeam, which doesn't help us at all.
Okay, well maybe we can just go through each one by one and present them. Do you want me to share my screen and I'll go through
If you
them?
don't mind. I don't even have that option on mine.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Want to give a shout out to the early ambassadors that are with us right now, supporting us in this meeting. This is also their first sneak peek at the promotional tiers. So this is exciting for everybody. This is really an unveiling of a new program. It's going to be a new social technology. We're jumping on the bandwagon of what is a network state. And this is something that, over the 4 years of my experience, I was designing in my mind. And the term network state was even presented to me recently, and the light bulb just clicked. This is exactly what we are building. We're building a social technology. So without further ado, I'd love to roll through that.
Well, let's just give, I think, a brief introduction to yourself, John, and also just talk through
Yes.
how we're going to present today. So what we're going to do is we'll start off presenting the Ambassador Program, what it is, why it's important, why it's going to be valuable for the community, how people can get involved with it. Then we're going to go into a little Q&A session where we'll take some of your questions and yeah, just answer any of your questions on the Ambassador Program, on the centralization of the Ambassador Program when it becomes a DAO. And John, why don't we start off with your background?
Absolutely.
And yeah, what's got you so pumped about this program?
Sounds good. Well, I won't give the long spiel like we did in our interview. For those that are in tune with our Medium or some of our social media, you've seen the interview where I give a lengthy explanation of my background. But for those who are just joining us who don't know who I am, I'm John Poole. I'm the new head of community. I have 4 years experience coming from the Oasis Protocol Foundation, where I founded their communities from day zero. And I'm bringing my knowledge, my experience, and everything, the passion, the excitement that we had over here. And it's quite an exciting time. Things were quite different over at Oasis. I was able to build in a brand new ecosystem, something that didn't have anything. And, that was great for my experience at the time. But what Waves has is a thriving ecosystem that I'm able to streamline and audit in a way that I can use my expertise and my experience to take us to the next level in what I believe is going to be presented in this Ambassador Program DAO. This is a way for us to decentralize a lot of the activity around the ecosystem and harmonize it as a family. But going back to myself, my background comes mostly from the investment side. I got into blockchain, into cryptocurrency at the time, just like everybody else. We were trying to make money, and it really enabled me to see a bright future in a different industry where I was able to bridge my existing talents in business development. And my background, actually, I'm a blue collar tradesman. I'm a sheet metal journeyman, but I dabble in a lot of different things as I've grown up. I am in my late 30s, as young as I look. Some people think I'm in my 20s, but I'm actually in my late 30s. So I do have multiple careers behind me, and I do have decades of experience on the front lines of customer service and sales. I did a little bit of finance when I was younger. I learned the ropes on kind of taxation and the way things are done behind the scenes. So I wasn't completely blind coming into cryptocurrency and the investing side about how to make money, but very fortunate to find this new industry of what community is. And that came about, I was given the opportunity through investing. I wanted to protect my investment. There was a few really strong projects at the time that didn't have their community built out at all. Like they really didn't have even the curiosity to give it the time of day. And this was a new industry at the time. You know, marketing was seen, you know, Jack, your industry was seen to be, you know, that's the one-stop shop for dealing with that whole, you know, front side of what the project needed. And over the course of the last, you know, 9 years, it's really evolved, or is it 13 years? Yeah, 13 years. It's really evolved to be something where community is its own department, its own division. And it's, you know, been my privilege the last 4 years to carve out what that really should be in a powerful layer one ecosystem. So taking that experience and bridging it over to Waves, I'm really excited to present in a new and improved version of that, something that, you know, I can remove the excess, the bloatedness, the things that didn't work, and I can streamline something that's optimized with a true vision, with an ecosystem that's already primed with what is PowerDAO. So this is a very harmonious reception of what I was planning. I was planning on building it on my previous ecosystem, and, you know, it just fit better over here. It really did in the Waves ecosystem. So that's kind of some of my background, lending into building the community side. As I was mentioning, there was this gap, this black hole in the investing side, and I decided to take a leap. I'm going to protect my investment by building what I believe should be a good solution for a community, and evolved into this, you know, head of community industry that I'm really enjoying. I'm really enjoying leading the way and showing not just the people that I represent, which is you guys, like everybody in the community. That's one of my luxuries, is that I speak genuinely and transparently, because that's how community is. We want to be treated fair. We want to be treated equal. And so do I. That's just one of the things that I represent. I embody a lot of what community hopes to be treated like, and I voice that to the other leaders within the project. And it's a very beautiful way of getting that conduit between what is community and what is a core team. So the ambassadors, speaking a little bit further than that, are the core of the community itself. So if you're one of those people right now listening, thinking, that's great, I'm excited about this, I want to be a part of this, this presentation, this ambassador program is exactly for you. And it's going to be even more exciting for the ambassadors that have already committed to being a part of this program, because they get to see firsthand the roadmap that nobody else has seen, other than people that I've pitched this to on the leader side. They're going to see the promotional tiers for the first time on how this can lead them down an on-ramp into careers in blockchain. And that is something I'm very proud of in the past, helping dozens of people, well, maybe just a dozen of people get careers in this industry and set themselves free, become digital nomads, travel the world, do something that they love to do on a day-to-day basis and not feel like it's work. And that's actually something that this ambassador program, in my mind, is going to become as well, a social technology that sets people free in a part-time volunteer basis. And I think it's a very fair and transparent way of doing so. So I'm very excited to present that. But going back to my experience, 4 years at Oasis, coming over here now to Waves. I've been here for about a month and maybe a week. And I've made a big splash. I already rolled out this ambassador program. It's a good thing everything was accepted, because I kind of simultaneously did that before everybody understood really where this was going. But I knew my vision was strong for this, and that's because of my experience coming from Oasis and knowing what a fun, loving group of ambassadors are over there. We built something really special over there, and I'm excited. Many of them have followed us to over here to support this movement that we're making in Waves ecosystem, and I'm really excited to roll this out. So did I miss anything there, Jack? Anything you want to know about me?
Hey, no, I think you smashed it as always. One thing I'd add is it's an interesting point you mentioned around marketing and community, and how, you know, like marketing used to be the bedrock of businesses that looking to grow, but now in Web3 and crypto, it's kind of community is now that real important piece that kind of is necessary to drive mass adoption. So yeah, really interested to see how this program and present how this program will help engage and bring more community members in. So let's get into it.
Yeah, and just before we do, some of the things touching upon that, like community is being treated in specific ways that's very unregulated. This is an unregulated space. And without the education side of it, without community being an industry of best practices, we are in the position now, the community themselves, to tell people what are the best practices. This is how we want to be treated, and this is what we feel is fair. So without further ado, let's roll through the ambassador program. I believe this will be one of those voices for the people that do write best practices for a new industry, and I'm really excited to carve it out with the rest of you. So what is the ambassador program? In the one-liner, it's a system for motivating, activating, engaging, and incentivizing community members to support WAVE's project's needs and directives. That's the fancy way of saying it. I like to call it a one-size-fits-all, part-time, volunteer-based program designed to be fun. I don't want it to stress you out. I want it to be something that you enjoy doing. I want you to spend your free time with the group doing something that you would have done anyways, and at the same time getting incentivized for it. But going back to the one-liner and unpacking that, this is a bridge. This is a professional bridge, like many of the ecosystems had to build previously, but this is a human bridge. This is an engagement bridge, a transparent, activating, engaging, incentivized way for community to interact with the project and give them exactly what they're looking for. So this is trimming the fat completely, no excess. They're not paying an agency, they're not paying a PR group to help them figure out how to contact community and get users and then have the community come join them. And someone else is getting the incentives, the rewards. This should be direct streamline into the core community, which are the ambassadors, who I mentioned before, are the core lifeblood of the community themselves. If life, in today's business models, and I speak on this, decentralized business models rely on community as the lifeblood of their entire project. It is everything to them. And if that's the case, the core of that would be the organs, right? And this ambassador team, this is the core, these are the organs of this lifeblood system. So they are the people that should be rewarded, and not these other agencies who really aren't giving back to the project in any way other than taking and soliciting. They're middlemaning something. So we're removing the middleman and we're getting direct access from the community to the projects within the ecosystem. And within this, we have promotional tiers. So this is the sneak peek for the ambassadors that are watching this right now. And I just realized, Jack, we were supposed to post the link to the ambassadors in the private ambassador group. So Annie, if you wouldn't mind doing that, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Watching. Okay.
Yeah, they're probably already watching. That's my bad. Promotional tier sneak peek though, and this is a taste of the Easter eggs that I like to drop in every single meeting I have with ambassadors. This is our long-term vision. This is my storyboard of our romantic buy-in to the promotional tier system of what is the WAVE's Ambassador Project. And let me walk you through this here. So you see the spectrum on the right-hand side, and you see the word WAVES at the top there. Obviously, we're doing ocean theme, we're doing sustainability, we're doing things in the ocean. So you see the top. Everybody, I'll get into the spectrum in a second, but everybody that joins starts off as a white pearl surfer, a WAVES white pearl surfer. And the reason being, obviously, we're WAVES, we're riding the waves, we've got the white caps. I'm from Vancouver, which is, the irony is amazing. The mountains with the snow peaks and the white caps of our oceans, our soccer team, our football team is named the White Caps. So we're surfers. And we're on top of the ocean, right? We're just surface level. And as we go deeper into the ocean, this is where the spectrum comes in. I'm a diver, and I'm an open water diver certified. I love scuba diving. I'm not a dive master, and I'm not an aquanaut. That would be amazing. I have a close friend of mine who's an aquanaut. Good for him. Super dangerous job. You guys are nuts. But as you dive in the ocean, the colors, the wavelengths of color dissipate as you dive deeper. The first to go are reds. And this is true. If you're wearing a red t-shirt, the deeper you dive in the water, the actual depths of the ocean, your red shirt will no longer be red. It will start looking green, blue, violet. It's quite cool. But that's where the depths of our program start changing. So as you dive deeper, so the white pearl, the white caps of the ocean, there's the white. Now we're going into tier 2. For previous ambassadors that have been with me in one of my previous John Poole programs, they will understand that this is the way that you get closer to getting a career into blockchain. As you move up through the promotional tiers, you have proven and earned through stages of rewards, loyalty, and bringing you closer to the project itself with more perks. The higher tier that you earn in the program, the more bounties you have access to as a trusted professional. As you get further along, tier 3s, tier 4s, these are people that receive, WAVES emails. They receive contracts to help us on a part-time basis. They become part-time staff with the hope of becoming a full-time worker. And the tier 5, this is like, this guy's for sure going to get hired. He gets a lot of perks, and there's a lot of reasons why he'll want to stick this out and become a tier 5. But there's even another layer onto why this is even better than the previous program we were building, because there's going to be an NFT collection associated to this with a long-term vision of holding those NFTs. But we'll get into that deeper. Tier 2, Waves, Ox Blood, Coral, Freedivers. For those of you who know my previous experience, I'm also a student gemologist. I love gemstones and diamonds, so that's where a lot of this stuff is coming in. But we tried to go with ocean sustainability. Oxblood coral is the most valuable of the coral in the gemstone world. So that's what the tier 2 free divers are going to be. And also, as you go deeper in the ocean, you're free diving. So that's going to be that tier. Tier 3, Waves, Golden Treasure Hunter, Dive Masters. Obviously going deeper into the ocean, now you're a dive master. And as the spectrum goes, the yellow symbolizes the gold. Tier 4, I love this one, the aquamarine aquanauts, getting into the blue, getting into the fancy gemstones, and getting into the people that live in the depths of the ocean. These are aquanauts, true astronauts of the ocean. I love that tier. There will not be very many aquanauts for quite some time. So when we start getting aquanauts, that's when the program is really starting to get legs and thriving. So I do encourage many of you community members, the sooner you get in this program, the sooner you earn these promotional tiers and you start earning much more rewards. So I really encourage many of you who are on the fence of thinking, should I do this? I was with John in the past. This is a maybe, yes, you should do this, because these will equate to this program becoming a DAO. And we've already leaked that out. This is, if you invest your time in this long term, you are part of something that is going to turn into its own project, turn into its own DAO, and you will be at the forefront of being able to really make part of change or be part of that change on the governing committee, potentially little sneak peeks. But anyways, going down, tier 5, the Waves Royal Purple Diamond Ambassador King or Queen. Can be a male or a female. This is, we welcome everybody, but we've got Poseidon or Amphitrite. Those are, the king or queen of the ocean. And I love the Greek mythology behind this. I love the whole story about it. And yes, purple diamonds are natural. They are real. They're extremely rare and valuable. So these are and violet is the last on the spectrum wave as you're diving. That's what you're going to see the most of down there. It's really all you're going to see down there. So we've got multiple layers of, colors. We've got gemstones. We've got symbols and different characters, and we've got emojis. So this whole thing, your flares, all over your social media accounts, you're going to be able to recognize these guys. I'm going to work hard on those NFTs myself. I'll have placeholders for the time being, but I am myself going to use my jewelry brand to try and make some really nice NFTs for us as PFPs. And maybe we can move to the next slide if you don't have any questions on this, Jack.
Yeah, sure. I mean, just to preempt a few questions for people listening to you there. So you start off when you join the ambassador program as a tier 1, and what's the kind of things or like variables that mean you move to the next level?
Sure. Let me pull some of those up. So typically, I'll say it right off the bat. If you're somebody that is loyal to the ecosystem, who's been with us for 6 years, this isn't something where you're going to have to start from scratch and be like, hey, I'm here. What do I need to do? You will be entered, brought onboarded as a White Pearl surfer, but you can be given the Spirit of Waves very quickly, and that will make you a tier 2. The tier 2 level is really meant to say that you're someone that we trust, at least on a surface level. You're not going to come in and start scamming people. We know who you are. You've shown your face. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, we allow you to do some of the following: access to earn through the ambassador rewards. You can onboard new ambassadors. That's the biggest one for tier 2. This is meant to be a DAO. And, many of the ambassadors that I worked hard with previously, their favorite thing to do was onboard new ambassadors. You get to meet people. You get to share your passion for the ecosystem. You get to be a recruiter. You get to bring people into this program who are wanting in on this program, and you get to be their first face, their first taste of what this ecosystem offers, and the passion and excitement that we are going to, encourage them to give other people as well. So this decentralizes the program itself. Right now, I'm training our actual team, our community managers, to be able to bring ambassadors on, so that I'm not the bottleneck of this program. But eventually we decentralize it, and these ambassadors are able to do that. They're also able to be part of, an AMA, where they can plan with us or host us in different regional groups. And this is a method of expansion. So tier 2, they also get access to the BD bounties. There's specific bounties within the program that only tier 2s can access, and becoming a BD ambassador is one of those. This is one of the ways that we integrate community into each department as the lifeblood of the business. And that's one of the things that I do with being the head of community for my growth plan, is I integrate different facets of what we offer as a community into different departments. And we'll actually go over that a little bit in the later parts. But the BD ambassadors, there's marketing ambassadors, developer relations, but basically becoming tier 2 unlocks the real list of bounties. Tier 1, there's social media and content creation and some surface level things, translation and some fun things like that. But tier 2 is really when you start getting the ability to earn. And tier 3, even more so. You're starting to represent us at local conferences. You can join us for an all hands, which is team selected. If there's like that one was tough, because if you have so much blockbuster news coming, you can't exactly just have people join you on at all hands, but that is on the list. And then joining us to design a community campaign. So if you're in tier 3, I want your input, I want your involvement, and that also unlocks other bounties as well. And then tier 4, some of these, organizing regional events and competitions, participating in helping us tally up the rewards each quarter or eventually each month as this program streamlines. We will be doing it each month. But tier 4s are people that we will most likely give a part-time contract to with an email address. These are people that have really earned the ability to represent us, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, if there's a spot for us on the core team with this person, they'll most likely receive it. And that's why I say there usually aren't very many tier 4s, and the aquamarine aquanauts will come and go because they will become aquanauts and then become core team. So that's something that I'm excited for people to receive. And also they will receive their aquamarine aquanaut NFT PFP, which they will be able to keep forever, and that will always be an accolade that not many people will receive. There's only one person in the past of one of my programs. We held it for over 2 years, and we only ever had one tier 5, and he's joined our program recently. I'm very excited to have him join. So we've poached the royal tier 5 ambassador into our program.
Nice.
Yes, and
Okay.
most of the tier 4s, to be honest. So we've got a strong core already, and if you're one of
so it's
our
already
community
working,
members,
is what I'm hearing you say.
it's already working, but they had to start at tier 1, so fair is fair. And even the existing translators and stuff, come to me, let's talk. You'll probably be promoted to a tier 2 immediately because you've already been doing tier 2 work. So that's exciting. But what else? What other sneak peeks can we share in this?
So in order to move to from a surfer to a free diver, tier 1 to tier 2, what is that investment? Is that time, or is that something else? Is that task completion or quality?
It's going to be it's definitely task motivated. And this whole program, and when I mentioned in the beginning, it's designed to be fun, part-time, volunteer. It really is. If you don't want to earn promotions, don't earn promotions. And I'm not going to hound you to do that. I don't care how much money you make through this program. It's on you. It's your choice. I just care that you're having fun and it's serving you the way you want it to, and vice versa. So if you want to earn tier 2, there's a couple ways. You can win, one of the top 3, the best in show, or the moderator bonus, or one of the other bonuses. There is new rookie bonuses and stuff like that. So if you win one of the top bonuses, boom, tier 2 immediately. And that's just because you're one of the top ambassadors this month, you earned it. Or this quarter, we are going to do quarterly for the first month. We're rolling this out in September. It's a 1-month quarter. So technically our first month, we will have tier 2s. And then some of the other things here, reach the maximum amount of tokens earned in a single quarter. This is like maxing out the program, and I'm still talking with marketing about our budget, so we will know our max when we release on September 1st. Successfully complete a partnership introduction that leads to a partnership announcement. This is a nice one for our BD ambassadors who may not already have the ability to do outreach officially through the program yet, but they want to connect us to a partner anyways, and I want a way to reward those people. So boom, immediately tier 2. Enhance the Waves community with sustainable contributions. This is team awarded. This is the Waves, Spirit of Waves. Honestly, if you're a great ambassador and you're just killing it and you're bringing in people and you're referring people like crazy, it's like we're just gonna promote you because we want you to access the tier 2 bounties. It's not something that we have a throttle on or a damper on. It's really hard to get through. It's like, no, we're standing there with our hands hanging down, trying to pull you up. We want you to succeed. The more you succeed, the more we succeed. That's the truth about this program. It's designed to be a self-sustaining value system. And hey, what is the value? This is perfect. Perfect time for us to talk about some value if you want to move on.
Yep.
Okay, cool. What are some of the values? So for some of you that were part of the program before, you understand immediately the redundancies that we're eliminating. This is something that helps an ecosystem save costs. Each project would have to build exactly what we're building each and every time. This is such a redundant cost, but let me go through some of these bullets here. What are some of the values that having a strong ambassador core give to an ecosystem? Access to community skill sets, marketing, BD, translation, events, development, design, content, and PR. And we're talking one-stop shop for all these assets in one place. This is a strong core of people. When you talk about the BD ambassador group, we will eventually have a core of BD ambassadors themselves, led by BD themselves. This is something that we poach talent out of the ambassador pool and scrape it into the silos where it belongs. This is access to community skill sets. And eventually down the line with the DAO, we will have a jobs page. There will be trust and reputation models built into this. And this will allow you to build up a reputation where a new project comes and is looking for someone with your skill sets. They can already see your trust indicator. You get a job offer. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to eliminate the middleman and go direct to the source for projects that come into the ecosystem. And this will transcend. Waves will be able to solicit this long term for other people that need what we're presenting. This is going to be, first of its kind social technology, and I'm excited of some of these value propositions. Turn passive community members into active supporters. So any of you that are listening right now, they're like, hey, I like Waves. I've supported Waves for years, but I really just participate in Neutrino, or I do DeFi with Virus, or I love my ducks. And that's really all you do, and you participate in one project. But this is turning passive community members, so people that, you're in the chats, you do things, but you're not die-hard ambassadors. This turns you into active supporters because all of a sudden there's a reason for you to get involved more. You're itching or scratching the itches that you wanted to scratch. You wanted to make art. All of a sudden there's a reason for you to make Waves art and get incentivized to do it. It's really, offering something that people want to be offered and they're looking for it. That's why they're in blockchain. There's, I talked about this, it's actually in my interview, the two types of people that we're really trying to present this to. There's the type of person, there's really three, but the two types of people, the one that wants to earn, they're here to make money, and that's what we're offering here. Then there's the other one, the one that wants to feel engaged with and connected and find a family. And that's actually what we're trying to build. We're just trying to pay the family in a way that we feel is fair. So this is really turning passive community members into people that want to be involved, to stay long-term, and to make friends around the world. I love making global connections with ambassadors all around the world. We create friendships. They fly around the world to meet each other. We see each other at conferences. It's actually a really fun time. And also the local events aspect of what the ambassador program enables. This will actually allow you to join up with other like-minded people in a safe and fair way to host meetups promoting Waves that maybe you can really help with mass adoption for blockchain in your environment. Maybe in your local region, you're in one of those places that you want to do some philanthropy, and blockchain is the solution to maybe some of the growing pains in some of the society issues that you're facing. So societal issues that you're facing. My apologies. Let's move on. Activate large volumes of the community to help market, defend, and operate Waves and Waves ecosystem projects. This one I'm passionate about. This I watched, unfortunately. I watched a project do damage to the community in a way that I'd been advocating against for us to tell the community that this was going to happen to them. And unfortunately, the position at the time was we couldn't police the network because we're a decentralized network. And obviously it wasn't with Waves, but this was something that really hurt me. It was one of the reasons that I really had to pause and reflect as to where I was working at the time. I don't want to be part of a community that can't stand up and defend itself and say, hey, that's wrong. And I don't believe that that should be partaking in our environment. If there's suspicious behavior on the ecosystem with a project that needs to be called out and asked, what are you doing? I believe that the ambassador program is the arm's length detachment required to police an ecosystem fairly, transparently, and with the right intentions. You know, we're not trying to hold back any project or any growth or anything in the way of success. We are simply saying, you know, this is a way for the community themselves to stand up and say, hey, that's fishy, and I don't think that's right. And you know, Waves is a culture already, you know, riddled with this type of empowerment. You know, Waves ecosystem, the community themselves, Sasha, everybody seems very involved when it comes to, you know, honesty and transparency, and you know, trying their best to do what's right. And not every ecosystem's like that, and that's the truth. And the ambassador program is the solution to this. It's the newspaper for a government, if you will. You know, governments can't always say what they want to say, so they use their extensions or their connections. They use their newspapers to do so, and use propaganda, and they try to, you know, push their message. But this is our way of ensuring the propaganda is right, that we're not being fed lies, that we are in fact protecting our ecosystem, and we are the lifeblood of that ecosystem, and therefore we are going to defend and operate the ecosystem in the way that we see fit. So not only do we activate large volumes of the community itself protects the ecosystem and tells the projects how they want to be engaged with. So it's a very fair way of making sure that things are fair. A community of willing volunteers. Let's move on that dark note. Let's get back to some happy notes. A community of willing volunteers to help produce any task, big and small. So that's exactly what it sounds like. People are willing to do stuff big and small. Some bounties are huge, some bounties are small, and they're reflected accordingly on their value. So it really has something for everybody. If you're someone that just wants to get involved and refer people, have some fun, go at it. There's lots of stuff for you there. And if you're someone that wants to go after the big fish, that really wants to put in the time and be a BD ambassador and get that contract in 6 months and work your way into a career, I tell you right now, I have examples of the past. There are some amazing ambassadors of the past that are now in great positions at you know, Oasis. They're doing fantastic, and I'm very proud of those guys. They've got real careers, they're getting flown around. They've done it. They've changed their life, and I'm very proud of them. So congratulations to those guys. And there will be bounties for those guys in our ecosystem. Unite the Waves communities. This one's a no-brainer to me. When I came over to Waves, all of our communities are all over the place because we have so much going on. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good problem for me to have as head of community, that I have to unite all these communities. But we're going to do it in a way of a global harmonized family, right? And that's what the ambassador program is. It's taking the family and having that monthly dinner again, or coming together for Christmas, or, you know, whatever celebration that you have in your family. It's reuniting us. You know, wherever we go around the world, whatever project we support, we are still part of the same family, the same ecosystem, and that's Waves. So we're going to unite all of that stuff back. And I've already got some great ways of doing this. The social media map was the first one that I'm getting ambassadors, you know, verbally praising immediately in the interview, that like, finally we're getting a social media map. We're going to have one-stop shop hubs. We're going to have some really great things for the community down the line that's really going to allow us to be one ecosystem. So the social media map itself, I'm scraping every single social media platform and language within the ecosystem, and I'm presenting it in one place where the ambassadors can, you know, join everyone that's relevant. And we'll eventually present this to the community as well. We'll have a hub, we'll build a one-stop shop. I think it's a great way of globally harmonizing everything and bringing it together. We're going to provide a pathway to community leadership for top members. This is true. The top leaders within our program, within our ecosystem, they'll be highlighted very quickly. Not only will they rise through the promotional tiers, but they'll be very obvious through the ambassador core. And when you talk about, you know, being riddled throughout the ecosystem, when we talked about not being united, if you can imagine the challenge of project leads or top team, core team members looking for specific individuals to help them around the world and not knowing, what languages they're affiliated with, not having a master sheet of who is a trusted ambassador, which wasn't a term at the time for each one. And this is already a thing. I've got several Waves Ducks ambassadors. And if you're somebody from a project that is so passionate, you talk about it all the time, you spend all your time there every day, you're the person I'm talking to right now. Please join, because I really need you to be represented for that project, to then allow our top members to talk to you and say, hey, what makes you work hard? What makes you thrive? What is it that you love about being one of these ambassadors? So the example of that, we've got a couple Waves Ducks ambassadors that are immediately brought into the ambassador program, and that information is shared. And maybe only a couple people knew about those individuals before. A couple of them got flown out to New York's NFT conference, which was pretty cool. They got a lot of fun times and a lot of rewards for that, and they will continue to do that. But the point being, now the whole Waves team knows these two guys. It wasn't just, the Ducks team that knew before. Now our whole team knows. Our head of marketing, our head of community, our head of content. Everybody knows that these two guys are rock stars in Waves Ducks, and now they're ambassadors. So this is what it is, providing a pathway to community leadership for top members. We're uniting the people with talent to be utilized and empowered to the next level, because more people are able to say, hey, that's somebody I've been looking for. We can create the structure, the technology, and the processes to create lasting, incentivized relationships with any community members and influencers. This one's powerful. The structure, when you unpack this, the technology and the processes, we are building a social technology. This is something new. And I never thought that I would be building something like this. I'm so privileged to be in an industry where a social technology built with the help of our community can be viewed as a technology. I'm like, this is very cutting edge. I'm very humbled and very proud that we're doing this, but this is the future. This is the truth. If you look at Web3, the metaverse, and decentralized business models, community is what makes those thrive. And if you figure out a harmonious way of governance and incentivization and community involvement in a way that can scale, this can be integrated into every single Web3 platform or project or industry. I mean, this is going to be really exciting. It lends to everything, and it's lasting. So we've got a roadmap that I've designed that's been approved, and it's long. So it's got some really great evolutions to the vision that I've had, and I'm excited to present. So let's see the next slide. Roadmap. Nice graphic. Man, I miss diving. That's a good one. That's a good brief. So September, we're going to be launching version 1, tasks and reward systems. This is what I've been telling all the early ambassadors that I've been onboarding. September 1st is going to be the big one. I'm going to roll out the bounty list version 1. I'm working with all the project leads right now to figure out values, tokens, tasks. We're going to have a basket of tokens. So this is exciting as well, because this ecosystem is thriving, and because it has more products than just the layer 1 protocol's gas token, we can actually offer incentives in specific ways. If Waves Ducks wants you to do something specific, you're going to get some eggs or maybe some spice. If there's going to be different options for the different tasks, and so ambassadors themselves are going to be able to select even where they like to spend their time. So we're going to even be able to the statistic analysis of tasks themselves for the ecosystem, so that projects will have insight into the way that the community wants to spend their time themselves in a very harmonious way. We're not giving user data away, or we're not scraping it for telling you what to do. We're actually just giving our ecosystem the ability to grow in a way with insight, in a fair way. You're getting paid for it. So it's like another way of data monetization coming from Oasis. I'm deep into data monetization. I'm always thinking of ways that we can take our data back. And this is one of them. Our actual engagement is being rewarded, and then it's driving the model of future engagement. So in September, version 1, this is exciting. We're going to have our monthly ambassador town halls. We'll have the bare bones version of the whole reward system, and that's for me mostly the bare bones system. I'm going to have to work harder on tallying up the rewards and things while I build the tooling out. But then in Q1 2023, we're going to have version 2, and this is exciting. We're going to automate a lot of the things with some tooling. As we mentioned already, this will become a DAO. So automation is a huge part of this. And, growing a big program for 4 years previously, I recognized the growing pains of being one person. I did it for 3.5 years. I did it by myself, and it was hard, and it was not sustainable. So at the end of it, when I was given more team, I really was able to decentralize and automate a lot of the processes, the onboarding, the hiring, the tallying. Everything just made sense that I could turn this into a DAO. And that's what we're going to do here at Waves. We're actually going to create and streamline some of the systems that are implemented early into self-sustainable, automated, decentralized, automated organization ways of getting it done. And then down the line, we've got another marker in 2023, but I see that Jack gave me a little extra buffer here. Thank you for the extra couple months. Q4 2024. That's being honest. I mean, I bit off a lot, and I think everybody realizes that. Like my proposal and my vision is aggressive, and it's very big. And that's the term that I've been given. It's big. So having an extra buffer in there is not bad, but people that do know me know that I go hard and I complete things very quickly. I really like to achieve what I believe in my mind to be success, and that's setting goals and achieving them. And our program will have goals as well. For the Capricorns out there that like goals, we will have goals. We have KPIs for our bounties. And so it really is a way of harnessing your abilities and helping you become better and more streamlined, more professional, if you want, in a way that you can receive more cryptocurrency and become potentially in a position where you can become a digital nomad. So Q4 2022 version 3, we're going to be a decentralized DAO. We're decentralized and we're a DAO. And I think Q1 2023 would be too soon, but I had 4 versions in my mind, but Q4 2024, if we're doing 3 versions, that will have the smart contract automated built into the tallying system. So that's another leap that I wanted to take in decentralizing this and automating it. I figured we could build a smart contract that held the funds in escrow for this type of bounty automation, and that we could really take the training wheels off this program and create a system where it is fast, streamlined, and direct, and very transparent. You can't be denied your bounty. If it's done right and it's reviewed and accepted, those funds are released through smart contracts. So I'm really excited about even the evolution of pushing this type of social technology forward with where we are in blockchain today. These will be revolutionary steps in what I think is going to be a revolutionary technology. Next slide, please. How the community can be involved. So this is exciting. We're going to be doing a rollout tour. Tell us what you want to see as a bounty, and here are the departments that you can help. So this rollout tour, we're going to be going into different projects, and I think I'll tell you about that after. But I want to know how the community wants to be involved here. Like, tell me what you, and I can almost say that, I'll lower the percentage of my expectation here. I will say about 75% of the stuff that the community asks for, I've already implemented into the bounty list, but that doesn't mean I know everything. I want to know what you want to do as a bounty, as a Waves community member. You're the type of person that I'm reaching out to. I specifically want to know what you want to do for me to empower you as an ambassador. Is it something in marketing? And what is it if it is in marketing? Is it BD? Operations? Are you a translator, and what language? What events would get you out of bed in the morning and excite you to host? How do you want to be involved in the community? What excites you? What events do you want to do? Are you getting enough in your local region? Do you want to see banners all over the place, bus boards? Like, is this something that you want to see? I want to know, and I want to know how to reward you to do it. That's basically, this is the proposition. I am asking the community to tell me on behalf of you what I can tell the leaders what you want to do. It's basically that simple. Like, help me tell the team what you're willing to do for rewards. This is your opportunity, and it's pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to just give honest feedback about what you think is valuable for your engagement. And that's it. That's what I want to know. What would you do as a community member that would excite you, that you would be willing to do, that you would want to get rewarded for, that you think is fair, that I can offer? And here's where we're going with this rollout tour. We're calling it the community kickoff. It's an AMA rollout tour to present this program, to get ambassadors interested throughout the different projects. We're going to be going to the exchange, we're going to Neutrino, we're going to Waves Ducks, we're going to have some fun in there. We're going to SwapFi, Vires Finance, we're going to go to the Tsunami Exchange, we're going over to Puzzle Swap, Pluto, and then Waves Enterprise, which is going to be fun because they're big. And I've not done anything in any of these groups yet, so I'm actually really excited. This is my first opportunity to say hi throughout the ecosystem for those different projects to ask me questions. How is this going to benefit them? Why should they be involved? I'm probably going to get a little flack from people saying, like, don't take our ambassadors away. But let me reassure the community, and as well as all these projects and the project leads and people that are die hard for each and every one of these, this program is designed to excel, or I wanted to say be eccentric, but that doesn't even make sense. I want this program, yeah, I want this program to be an addition. I want it to accelerate the growth and empower the ecosystem. Like, this program is meant to harmonize. It's meant to really be the gas that we throw on each fire. Like, if each of these projects are on fire, they're killing it. We want to basically have a global ambassador program that runs around with gasoline, that just says, hey, you guys are doing great, and just adds excitement, momentum, energy to each one of these projects. So I don't want you to feel like we're coming in to poach your talent. I don't want the community to be worried in any way that, you know, we're going to be taking away. If anything, we're coming to look for the leaders in these projects that want to stand up and say, hey, I love this project and I'm willing to do more for it. And we are willing to reward you for it. So I think that's pretty fair. If you're willing to put yourself out there, we're willing to put ourselves out there and see if we can find a fair solution. So we're going to all these. We're going to do a rollout tour. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see each one of these projects, because what a luxury to go around and parade into all these projects within the ecosystem. It's pretty incredible. So this is going to be fun. Please join us for each and every one of these. We'll probably do some little thing at the end of each one. So I do, you know, Easter egg there for the ambassadors and for the rest of the community watching. Join us for these. We'll have some fun, and there might be a way to earn. And let us know what you want to do for some of these bounties. So let's go to the next slide, Jack. Oh, Q&A. This is fun. Now we'll answer some questions from the community.
Yeah, so now we'll just open it up to the floor, and I'm going to stop sharing because I need to hit up this other document.
Thanks for sharing that, by the way.
That's all right. It was great.
It was a rough start when you don't have your presentation ready to go.
No, we got there in the end, which is great. Just a note on the AMA rollout tour. So we'll be coming into each of these each of these community channel telegrams, and we'll be running the AMA there, you know, so you won't have to leave the space that you're already active in, and we'll basically simply be asking, what do you as a community member within that telegram group, what do you want to be paid to do? What do you want to be rewarded for? So yeah, there's a couple of questions that have come through in the chat while you've been chatting along there, John. So let's go through them. So one of the questions is, who can be an ambassador?
Anybody. Well, I shouldn't say anybody. I should say mostly everybody. We should put an age restriction on it, right? Like, we're not going to allow minors in because safety.
Right.
We don't want minors into our group. So there's an age restriction on that. But I'm excited to say that there's no KYC. And so therefore, regionally, I don't have to turn anybody away. And this was a problem before. I couldn't have Americans unless they were angel investors. So we had to do some loopholes there. I couldn't have people from sanctioned countries, which I'm not going to get into that. But I don't have those issues here. We have no KYC. So the people, I will say this, if you're not willing to show your face in your interview, you can't join. This is an honor system. We do take your screenshot for the sake of keeping accountability to our ambassadors. If you do something wrong, we need to know who it is so that we don't let you back in the program. It's just that simple. But anybody else, if you're a positive, energetic person that's willing to learn, self-motivated, you know, like just a good, positive, good person, good actor. Let's just call it a good actor. If you're not someone that's going to come in and drag yourself around on the coattails of other people because you're not willing to learn anything. Those are the type of people that maybe aren't a good fit for our program. Like if you're expecting something for nothing, it's probably not a good fit for you. But if you're the type of person that understands that if you're willing to do something, you'll get rewarded for it in a fair way if it's to the quality standard of the bounty. You do have to have quality work. But if you're that type of person, then we have a place for you for sure. It's one size fits all different types of experience ranges. So you could be brand new. Like we have some ambassadors that this is their first project that they've ever even heard of. And they don't even really understand what blockchain is, but they want to learn. And they're like, this is the future. That's perfect. Come on in. We have other ambassadors. Learn the documentation, come to the AMAs, come to the town halls. In 3 months, you'll probably be at the point where, you know, it might have taken you a year before, or maybe you would have lost interest before, but you'll build friendships with other people that are brand new. And we have several ambassadors who love training. We actually have more than several. Majority of the new ambassadors that I've onboarded so far have told me that they love education, they love blogging, they love just training, they love teaching. And that's exactly what we're going to allow. Our ambassador program is like iron sharpening iron. We strengthen one another. And that's something really beautiful about the ambassador program is we are a family, we help each other. And so it's one size fits all. If you're an expert, I've had previous lawyers, accountants, developers, blockchain project leads, head of marketing. I've had a Samsung vice president before in the ambassador program. Like it's for everybody, and we could use your talents. That individual that worked for that tech company, he just wanted to be part of the next revolution in technology that he knew was coming. He had watched smartphones, he had watched several decades worth of technology change the world, and he wanted to join the ambassador program because he wanted to be part of the change of the next generation of technology. So there's something for everybody. There really is. That's a good question.
Awesome.
Thank you for asking. Yeah.
Awesome. So the next question is any geographical restrictions? So I guess not.
No,
after
I don't think so. You tell me. I have been operating on no. If you have the internet, you couldn't probably need the internet, but you could probably do work, record it, and then just upload it when you get the internet. So you don't even need the internet for doing presentations and stuff. So no geographic location. I actually had a funny talk the other day with somebody that I thought this social technology, because it's a network state mindset, it transcends borders. This could actually be a program that we have in space. So we could be the first multi-planet DAO using a community DAO. Like that'd be pretty cool. Although
Bobu, I suppose it speaks to the theme. The Pluto community will like that one.
Pluto would like that, and you know, with the Azuki fam at my back, we got Bobu on one of the rockets in space. So like he was the first NFT in space.
Oh, really? Nice.
So yeah, one of these days, some of my space investments will get this DAO in space.
Okay. The next question then, no geographical restrictions, even space, even aliens could join this thing. Okay, so
I would love an alien.
Can we be part of everything if we have experience on those bounties shown in the earlier slide? So I guess they're talking about the departments, the marketing, BD, community.
You can do it all.
Participate in all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If there's conflicting bounties, like this is a live program. So if we discover a loophole where it's like, you can't have two bounties for the same thing, but you can go after anything on the list if you're a qualified member, absolutely. Like if you're not embarrassing yourself on outreach doing marketing that you shouldn't be doing, we don't want you doing things that you shouldn't be doing. But if you're a qualified individual that has the ability to do every single thing on the list, go nuts. But that would be very rare because some of them are meant for artists, some of them are meant for social media influencers, some of them are meant for business development representatives, recruiters. So you would be a very special person if you could do them all. If you can, maybe I should make an Easter egg bounty for that. Get one bounty of every category within the year. That would be pretty cool. I'll think about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice. So yeah, there's basically how it will work is you'll have the list of bounties in front of you as an ambassador, and you'll be able to go down through that list and go, I want to do that, I want to do that, and just sort of once you've done that, you'll then have to submit that work to the ambassadors that are already in the program. They will review, and then the sort of quality is judged, whether or not it can be accepted will be judged, and then once it's accepted, you'll receive your rewards. So
yeah,
so that,
and there's direct, like on each bounty, you'll have how to claim it, how it's presented, like is it a team awarded bounty or is this something that you have to submit your work? And then there will be KPIs, key performance indicators on each bounty as well, indicating the quality before it's eligible to be rewarded. And that can change.
Nice.
Like maybe it's just something very small, or maybe it's an attendance number, or some type of engagement statistic if it's social media related.
Okay.
And for the first bit, the team will be evaluating the bounties until we get ambassadors at the tiers of then decentralizing that.
Okay. And then I think final question, and then I guess we can wrap up. It's been a good hour. When can they apply? So a lot of people are asking when can they get involved? When can we get started?
Yeah, so this is exciting. I leaked the form out about a week and a half ago, just to a few people, just to a few ambassadors from the past that I really wanted to join. I think I told about 6 to 10 people, and it has blown up. The form leaked out, and people started telling their friends. So we have over 355 submissions. Exactly, not over. We have 355 submissions already. I've onboarded the first 50 myself. We're over 50 ambassadors strong within our team already, and this is a program we're announcing today. So we already have a great core. I would love for each and every person that feels like this is something for you, please apply. I'm in the middle of orientating new trainers right now to decentralize the onboarding process, so it's not just me. So maybe next week we'll have 3, 4, 5 trainers where we can exponentially start growing this program. I would love us to prove the value of what the community believes can become from this program by showing the team just by simple applications. Let's get these numbers skyrocketed, and let's show the team, let's show the other leaders that this is something that the entire community, the entire ecosystem is excited for.
Yeah, but the official launch of the program, where we'll release everything, all the details to the public, including the bounties and things like that. That is going to be on the 1st of September.
Yep. Yeah, we've got some work to do. We got a week and 2 days.
Yeah. So,
but all the bounties are already, barring community input. Like when we asked you for your feedback, I'm serious about that. And this is a fluid program. So we're on version 1, right? And we talked about version 3, but the bounties version is not subject to being locked to those versions. Each quarter, we can change the bounty list to reflect. And in fact, it's designed to be fluid. Token prices fluctuate. Therefore, the prices of the bounties fluctuate based on the quarter. But what's exciting about that is our own internal token metrics of the program. We reward tokens. We post the token amounts. Each quarter, based on community involvement, you have the ability to raise those token prices and earn more for your bounties based on community support and engagement. So if the project's doing well, you're doing well. It's a very harmonious way of controlling the budget within this program.
Awesome.
Yeah, and with that said, we can add bounties and change bounties, and the community feedback, we want those bounties. So September 1st, we're going with what we got. It's going out. It'll be version 1.0, and if it needs to become 1.1, we'll make it 1.1 in October, right? So that's kind of what we mean when we say it's fluid. We want your input. It's not going to just be dead after September 1st. We want your continued input. This is something that will continue to be a community management DAO. It's an ambassador program DAO, but it really is designed to evolve into the entire ecosystem's management system. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, John, thank you so much for your time jumping on,
you.
introducing yourself to the community. I'm sure everyone's going to have a lot of questions in the Telegram chat, so feel free to reach out to John. He's under Aquaman in the channels, you know, staying on brand. So yeah, great to get this program out and get it started. And we'll be rolling out the AMA tour with all of the dates and everything like that over the coming weeks. So look forward to that, and look forward to appearing in those channels as well.
Thank you very much, Jack. Thanks for hosting me. And to the community, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to introduce myself, and I look forward to a long relationship together. Thanks.
No worries. See you guys. Thank you.
Bye.